everybody is actually looking forward to owning a house.
I was very, very happy when I got the allocation for the house.
Mortgage can actually work in Nigeria.
Good evening and welcome to Everyone Deserves a Home, a program aimed at spotlighting the activities of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and its efforts towards providing homes and mortgages for average Nigerians. I am Aisha Mohammed Ahmed, your uncle. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is actively making efforts to provide affordable housing and mortgages for its customers. One of the ways it is doing so is by partnering with government and private institutions, as well as individuals, to work out modalities of ensuring the availability of houses and mortgages for its customers. In this edition of the program, we shall take a look at one of the many partners that the FMBN has worked with for many years in delivering affordable houses for its customers. Join me after this timeout for the full package of the program.
The management of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, wishes to disclaim media reports by HX Africa, Housing Exchange Africa, on a purported 40 million mortgage pre-financing scheme which referred to FMBN as a partner. The FMBN wishes to inform the general public and our esteemed National Housing Fund scheme customers, particularly Nigerians in the diaspora, that although HX Africa applied for some engagement with the bank, it has not been granted any approvals, nor has the bank entered into any formal arrangement with it. While the FMBN and NIDCOM remain committed to roll out the Diaspora Mortgage Scheme after obtaining the necessary regulatory approvals, we will endeavor to provide official information and updates on our respective websites and social media handles to avoid the general public being misled. NIDCOM has issued a similar disclaimer on the purported HX Africa Mortgage Pre-Financing Scheme, and the general public is invited to note accordingly. Signed, Mrs. Virginia Jang, Group Head, Corporate Communications, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, for the management.
The program will take off with news highlights of major events around the housing sector. In the news tonight, Minister of Housing and Urban Development urges stakeholders to work towards improving the sector, and Federal Executive Council approves funds to address housing deficit. Details coming shortly. Don't go away. The Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Sheikh Usman Osidi, has pledged the commitment of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in providing more homes and mortgages for contributors in Nasarawa State. He was speaking during a courtesy visit by the Deputy Governor of the state, Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, to the bank recently. The Managing Director, while welcoming the Deputy Governor, said that the visit reflects the commitment of the state government to foster more collaboration with the FMBN. He said that the bank has delivered many projects in the state and contributors have benefited from many of the bank's products and services. Osidi added that the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria will not relent in doing more for the workers in the state.
I am personally committed to ensuring that the bank strengthens its support for the state's development agenda. Our doors remain open to expand our collaboration, and we are ready to work with the state government on initiatives that enhance access to affordable housing and promote economic growth.
Osidi also thanked the state governor, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, for his collaboration and support towards the Renewed Hope agenda.
I recall when I was serving as the Chief of Staff to the Honorable Minister, His Excellency is one of the first governors in the country to donate land for the development of the Renewed Hope agenda under the present administration. I recall that the governor, His Excellency, had called me to say we should arrange an appointment for him to personally deliver the Seal of Hope to the Honorable Minister, which he did.
While stating the purpose of his visit, the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Dr. Emmanuel Akabe said the visit was necessary to improve on the existing relationship between the state and the FMBN. He said that the state is continuously looking for ways to improve on the welfare of its workers. He appealed to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to package more mortgage loans for the houses built for workers by the state government.
There's a program then where the civil servants had access to some mortgage facilities in Abuja that could pay for them so they can own them. Our idea here is that these guys would own their houses. Whatever money we get from it, we reinvest it into building more houses. About now going to collaboration with Federal Mortgage Bank to see how we can also get more houses for more civil servants to own.
The Executive Director, Loans and Mortgage Services, Honorable Sani Abdu, who also spoke, suggested a site and services program for gradual home development in the state. The House of Representatives Committee on Housing and Habitat was at the headquarters of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria on oversight. This was on Monday, the 18th of November 2024. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Abdul Mumin Jibril Kofa, in his opening remarks said that the visit is necessary to oversee what the bank does and how the bank is faring in the delivery of its mandate.
The purpose is to come here, engage you, hear more about your activities, where we can see things we see for ourselves, cross-check facts, and get to interact with all of you beyond even the level of the managing director, or should I say below even the managing director.
The managing director of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Usman Osidi, who made a presentation to the committee, highlighted the mandate, products and services of the bank, as well as the efforts the bank has made in providing mortgages for its customers from inception till date.
One of the critical things that we're also looking at doing is the automation of our processes.
He noted that the FMBN, as part of its effort, has increased its loan limit from 15 million naira to 50 million naira to reflect the times. He added that the bank is making more efforts towards creating new products and services so that a higher number of NHF contributors will benefit from the scheme.
We're also promoting new affordable housing models. Currently, we're in collaboration with the University of Lagos Center for Housing Studies for research on promoting affordability and financial inclusion. We're also encouraging the development of new affordable housing models with the recent approval of a housing development loan to Kaduna State University. That cooperative specifically made of professionals from the institution are using what they call biodriver to generate power from waste instead of relying on the national grid. And we are trying to use that one as a pilot to see how it goes.
The MD also called on the committee to support the bank in its bid for the recapitalization and the review of the NHF Act, amongst other issues that need the attention of the National Assembly.
I would like to go to the critical issues and then suggest a way forward. One is the issue of recapitalization, which I have mentioned. This is very, very dear to our heart, and we will appreciate the assistance of the National Assembly in getting this bank recapitalized. Second is the issue of the single obligor limit, which I have also discussed. And the third and more critical is the issue of the review of the FMBN and NHF Acts. The FMBN Act was passed in 1993, while the NHF Act was passed in 1992. And since then, these two acts have not undergone any reviews. And like we all know, a lot of changes have happened. For instance, the salary that is stated there is 3,000 naira monthly, which we know for many years now that has been unrealistic.
Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Engiwa, has said that the ministry under his leadership is committed to making a major difference in land administration, housing delivery and management of urban spaces in the country. He was speaking at the 13th edition of the National Council on Lands, Housing and Urban Development, which took place in Gombe State. Engiwa disclosed that the ministry, since the last council meeting, has recorded remarkable success from the action plan it outlined from the 2023 council meeting. The minister said that because of the housing deficit in the country, there is need to build approximately 550,000 units annually over the next decade to close the gap. This action, he said, has already begun under the Renewed Hope Cities and Estates program. He explained that the program has a project underway at 14 sites, making up a total of 10,112 housing units under construction. The projects include 1, 2, and 3 bedroom semi-detached bungalows in Yobe, Gombe, Nasarawa, Benue, Sokoto, Katsina, Abia, Ebonyi, Delta, and Akwa Ibom states. Architect Engiwa also added that work is ongoing at the 112 units Renewed Hope City in the FCT, the 2,000 units Renewed Hope City in Kano, and another 2,000 unit Renewed Hope City in Lagos, with a significant number of the houses at the roofing stage. The minister also lauded the National Assembly leadership for their support in increasing the annual housing budget to a minimum of 500 billion naira, starting with the 2025 budget cycle. This, he said, would allow for the expansion of housing projects to cover the remaining 18 states and increase the unit count per state from 250 to at least 500. Thanks for staying with us. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is keen on pursuing the right partnerships for the delivery of houses for Nigerians. Towards this end, the FMBN partners with housing developers. Some of these partnerships have spanned many years and have yielded benefits for both the bank, the developer, the customer, and Nigeria as a whole. In our next segment, we'll take a look at one of such partnership which began in 2009 and is still delivering houses for NHF contributors. Let's take a look.
Lape Construction Services Limited is one of the real estate developing firms that is partnering with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in the delivery of affordable houses for contributors of the National Housing Fund scheme. This firm began a partnership with the FMBN as far back as 2009, when the FMBN contracted the company to deliver 295 housing units under the Estate Development Law.
We have had a long-standing relationship with Federal Mortgage Bank. We started this 2009 when we got our first estate development loan to build 295 housing units. And that was successful. It was commissioned in 2017. So we have had a very good standing relationship with FMBN.
With the successful completion of the project, the FMBN again engaged the developer for the construction of a second phase of the project for more people to benefit from the National Housing Fund scheme. And because the estate development loan is no longer functional, the FMBN partnered with the developer to construct houses under the Cooperative Housing Development Loan.
And we got another cooperative loan from Federal Mortgage Bank again. And this one, it is in partnership with Federal Ministry of Power and Steel, and then of course Federal Mortgage Bank and LAPE in the arrangement of rent-to-own, basis.
780 million naira was the total sum approved and disbursed for the project, which is for the construction of 96 housing units. All of the units have been fully completed and off-taken.
We have 96 numbers of housing units, two-bedroom quartlet, and we did it in 3 tranches. We have the first tranche, 32. We have the second one, which we are doing the infrastructure already. Then the first one, they've already occupied them. We have like 15 occupants of the 32, while the rest are still coming in. The third tranche, which we are still working on now, we are going to deliver very soon. And the other side, people have been trying to subscribe. We are waiting for the next tranche to come.
As is customary, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has ensured that infrastructure in this estate is duly provided.
So we have 500 kVA transformer. They've already drawn the line already. People are using the light already. Where we are standing now is a road, and the drainage is by the side. Each house has their driveway, and then we have our borehole, readily available supplying water already. We have 100,000 litre, the reservoir, and the main one that takes it to the house is 60,000 litres.
The developer of this project tells us how partnering with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has been through the years.
There have been changes in the management. We've had about 4 managing directors, and I can assure you, each of them, we've had a very good standing relationship with them because we handled everything professionally. And I'm so happy that Federal Mortgage Bank is truly a very, very good, reliable partner. People talk of corruption here and there, but I have not experienced it with Federal Mortgage Bank. And more so that the economic environment is so harsh that I don't know how other developers are coping. But we have had a very good synergy with Federal Mortgage Bank in which they would review the selling prices of the houses and then maybe increase, that and cut down the total number of housing units, to be delivered to them. So we've had a very good relationship.
With the current economic realities, the developer has had to make crucial adjustments as agreed and approved by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Ensuring quality delivery was, however, not negotiable, even though the total number of housing units that was initially agreed upon had to be cut down.
We were able to mitigate this by the first tranche, which was paid. We delivered at the exact agreed amount of 8.1 million per 2-bedroom unit. But subsequently, it was reviewed to 9.6 million. And then, because of the loan that was given, in which the differentials wasn't going to be added to it, we were able to reach a compromise where we reduced the total number of housing units to be delivered from 104 to 96.
More partnerships are expected between LAPE Construction Services and the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria for the continuous delivery of affordable houses for contributors of the National Housing Fund scheme.
You're still watching Everyone Deserves a Home. Daily, many more people become homeowners thanks to the National Housing Fund scheme of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. In our next segment, we'll take a look at another beneficiary of the NHF scheme. Though she is yet to move into her house, Mrs. Onugo shares her story of how she became a homeowner. Keep watching.
I can assure all Nigerians that if you apply, once it is available, you will get.
Definitely the scheme is real.
It's a big testimony to stop paying rent.
Excellent. Seriously excellent.
It works and is real.
Mrs. Ogechi Onugu Jesse is a civil servant who benefited from the National Housing Fund scheme through a cooperative society she belongs to, the Golden Lee Multipurpose Cooperative. She was encouraged to give the NHF scheme a trial by her friend, and this was how it all began for her.
I was introduced to the estate by my colleague who worked with me in the office. So he came and told me sees there's something up. So I said, what is it? He said, there's this estate that they are selling that is rent to owe, that you don't need to pay anything, that you just key into it, and when you do the documentation and present the papers they ask you, and the house is yours. So I said, I'm interested. So the very first day that we came here, I saw the place and I was really interested in the place. So I decided to key in.
After learning about the National Housing Fund scheme, an opportunity presented itself for her to benefit from the scheme, which she quickly grabbed.
When it came, it was like I just keyed into it, you understand, because I know it's a possibility, you understand. And another thing is, if you put your ear on the ground, you will hear, you understand. You hear people talking about it, especially now that houses are expensive. People want to hear, people want to know what is happening around, you understand. So if you put your ear on the ground, you'll be able to hear and know what is going on in the industry.
She says the process towards owning her home was a very seamless one. She shares some of the processes she went through to owning her home.
The process was not that tedious. It was moreover seamless, because when they told me what to bring, first of all, they gave me the first allocation. You understand? So I came to this place, I saw the place, so I liked it. I said, okay, I'm in. So they said I need to bring some document from my office. So I went to my head office and they were able to sign most of those documents for me. I photocopied them and did all they asked me to do. And I returned it to Federal Mortgage Bank.
She says repayment for her is suitable because the deductions are quite manageable, which is very convenient for her.
The repayment process is very, very okay for me. You understand? Because what they take out from my account is not that much compared to what I'm earning. So it's like nothing. I'm not feeling it. You understand? So, and I've started paying. I've started making my payment, and it is okay for me.
Although she's yet to move into her house, Mrs. Onugu shares the feeling of being a homeowner. She lauds the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria for making her a home owner.
When they called me and said that my paper has been processed, that I'm ready to be given the key to, so I was so excited. I couldn't even wait. They told me to come the following day, so I couldn't even wait. I just rushed down here that evening. So they just gave me the key. You understand? So I was so happy. I was impressed. The process wasn't tedious. It was seamless.
It's been a delight going through yet another interesting episode of the program with you. I'll be here again next week, same time, same station, with another exciting package of the program. Before then, do well to stop by at any of our branch offices nearest to you, or visit our website on www.fmbn.gov.ng. You'll find our various office addresses there. Remember, everyone deserves a home, and you are no exception. Bye-bye.